I am so glad you all are here today. And we could probably title this service, Dimensional Shift Phase 2. So if you did not hear last week's, I suggest that you listen to it on YouTube. These are probably the only 2 times I will speak this way, maybe. But I appreciate you letting me be me today. And will you take this journey with me?
Yes.
Will you just take without opinion and let yourself feel what you're going to feel?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to start out with a little story that happened this week. Holly Verona has stepped up to help us in the office. You all realize we lost Madison back in April, which is why your phones are delayed in being answered, I'm sure. And so we've been doing the best we can, trying to keep things moving, but Holly Verona is on hiatus from her nanny job, so it worked great for her, for us, win-win. For the summer, we've got at least a couple of days covered. So yay, yay. So we had, her first day was on Monday, and our cleaner's first day was on Monday, and our second day. She was cleaning away, and we were in the bookstore, and she's sweeping the floor, and all of us are gathered around the desk that she will sit at in the corner. It's the corner of our prosperity area for our church. And so here comes Aaron with a vacuum. Patrick, Holly, and I are standing there. I said, yes, let's get this place really vacuumed. And so I'm moving stuff so that the vacuum can come in behind the desk and really do a good job. And there is a metal piece in the corner that has crystals on it, and it's our prosperity stuff. And I put it there when we moved in 2000. Probably need to vacuum underneath it. And so I said, let me move this so we can vacuum underneath it, because I'm feeling guided by Spirit. It was like when I saw the vacuum, I saw her. It's like, yes, let's clean this up. Let's smudge it. Let's get it clear and new and fresh. So I'm going to get it, and Patrick comes up to me and he says, that's too heavy, you can't move it. Well, immediately in my brain, I go back to a service I did a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned to you that when I got guidance from Spirit in the early days, Patrick would say I couldn't do it. And in my mind, I went lickety-split. Okay, I hear. Am I being guided to do this? Yes, I am being guided to do this. Okay, yes, I am on a mission from God. So I looked at him and I said, step aside. And I grabbed the thing, and it was as light as a feather. It was so light, and normally it's not light. It was light. The crystals weighed nothing. I grabbed it, and I moved it and vacuumed it. He washed the crystals. We put them out for a blessing. Man, we really smudged. We did it, cleared the whole place up, cleaned it, spiffy. So I was very happy with this, very proud that we'd followed Spirit. The next morning, I'm in my shower getting just clear, and you know you always get messages in the shower. Yeah. You know you do. So I'm in the shower, and all of a sudden this voice says, the frog wasn't there. And I went, what? The frog that you keep on the prosperity corner thing wasn't there. That's why it was so light. The frog wasn't there? Oh my God, somebody took the frog? We have this frog, it's about this big, and it's like 5 pounds. And it does make the thing heavy. And so I went, of course, there was something missing. I knew it. It was too light. And I called Bonnie. We talked on the way home. I went on my way in. And I said, Bonnie, someone took our frog. Oh, I just can't believe it. Do you think somebody could have just moved it? Oh, no, what if somebody took the frog? Oh, my gosh. I've got to breathe through this now. I've got to breathe through this, that they would take the frog that I love dearly. So we come to work, and we're working again, totally out of my mind. I've dealt with it. It's Patrick, Holly, and I are in the corner. And we're talking stuff. The frog is sitting on the thing. I looked at Holly and said, did you touch that frog? I did not. Patrick, the frog. I did not. Bonnie, I didn't touch the frog. The frog was right where it was supposed to be on the thing. And I went, what the heck? And I went over and I tried to lift it, and it was heavy. Things that make you go, Now I want you to just feel your feelings. And you do realize I am seasoned, and I know what you're thinking. Feel your feelings. Okay, and then I have another story to share with you. I want you to just sit with me. You're with me on this journey. You already said you were. No getting off the train right now. So I had someone come in today and tell me this beautiful story that would have been a perfect example to tie this together for you, but I did not get permission to share. So now I have to go back in my archives 34 years to give you one that's somewhat similar. So, young woman I was, infant I had, and I worked at the airport. So I could not get to him until 7 o'clock at night. And he would be hysterical. He would be starving. And the daycare wouldn't feed him. I'd send food, but they wouldn't feed him. We're not allowed to after a certain hour. It's like, oh my God. And so I told God, this is not going to work. I had just gone back to work, and I'd worked about a month. I said, this is traumatizing him. I can't do this. And so I went by this building. It was real near my house. I looked at the building and the company name, and I told his dad, I want to work there. It's close, it's nearby. Spirit says, sit still. I sat still. And then about a couple of weeks later, Spirit said, get your paper. It was a long time ago. Look at the want ads. And they showed me 3 ads to apply to. They were all blind ads. Blind ads means you have no idea who you're applying to. So I put my resume in the mail to these 3 people. I got a call from one of them who wanted to schedule an interview, and it was that company. Wow. And I said, oh, are you located at that location? And they went, no, but we're in Roswell. Do you know where we are in Roswell? And I said, yeah, because there was another location on Holcomb Bridge, and I knew of that one. I said, sure, I know where you are. So I showed up on my interview on Saturday, and I went to the building, and the building was locked. I couldn't get in the building. So I'm cajoling my way, and I get someone to let me in the building. So I go up to the level where their suites are, because it was a building shared by many people, and that suite was locked. Oh yeah, someone's got to be in there, because I have an interview. So I got someone to leave their work and come let me in, and he explained to me that I was at obviously the wrong place because the person I'm looking for didn't work there. Okay, so I went to a payphone. I called the person. I said, I'm at your office in Roswell, and you are not here. They say you don't work here. And he goes, what office are you at? I said, the one on Holcomb Bridge. He goes, what? You got in there? And I said, yeah, I got in. He goes, no, it's locked. I said, I know. I got in. I made it up to your offices. They let me in. He goes, they let you in? I said, yes, they let me in, and you're not there. And he goes, yeah, we're around the corner in another building. Great. So I go into my interview around the corner in another building. Well, I got the job, and it was close, and my baby got fed. But the reason I got the job, and he said, I was so impressed that you got into 2 locked locations. Now, the very fact that Spirit guided me on the day to run the ad, the very fact that Spirit guided me to go to the wrong location so I could prove my tenacity and value. What do you feel when I tell you this story? Do you feel God is in motion? Do you feel God blessed me? And it was win-win. I got my baby at 5 o'clock every day. He was fed on time, and it was good. You feel God moving in that one. Yet the frog one. Did you feel God in the frog one? Reminds me of a story in the New Testament when they lowered the man from the roof, and Jesus has this man who's on a cot and cannot walk. And Jesus says to him, your sins are forgiven. And everybody went, what? Why would you say that? No one can forgive sins. What's going on here? And he looks at them and said, would you prefer I say, take up your bed and walk? It's the same thing. Whether I say your sins are forgiven internally, or I ask you to physically get up and walk, it's the same thing. And the man got up and walked. But the shock of the people was dramatic. Just like I'm sure the shock of a minister standing here telling you God could make a frog disappear for her so she could live something is probably just as dramatic. God doesn't do that. Oh, really? God moves through the minds and the hearts of man. God moves through the minds and the hearts of man. And in that moment, I said, God, what did you, I'm doing something for you. You're guiding me to do this. I don't want that to be heavy. I'm telling him to step aside, and I'm going to do it. Why wouldn't God disappear the weight? Why wouldn't it happen? Last week, we talked a tremendous amount about the energies that we are being bombarded with today and how we need to rally to become awake and aware to these movements, and how we need to take God out of a book and put God in our hearts. God has to get out of a book and has to become real. Spirit said to me, you can hide in the God in the book, but you cannot hide that God in your heart. You can't hide from that. When you go to the God in your heart, it's real. And we have to do that even in these moving times. You know, as metaphysicians, we believe in instant manifestation, don't we? But in our mind, we've created a file, and that file says that instant manifestation means that if I want a car, okay, I'm going to take my magic wand out of instant manifestation. I'm going to say, give me a car, God. I want a car. See? But instant manifestation isn't that. It's the manifestation of the thoughts that you have in that moment. It's the thoughts you have in that moment. What if all of our thoughts are God-based? What if we stay prayed up every morning? What if we do our meditation before we leave? What if we say, God, your will be done, flow with me today? Are we not ready for anything that needs to happen? Have you all not seen matter move? I know you've seen it when the car's coming at you, you go, no, and the car moves away. Or you're surrounding yourself with energy in a difficult situation. We have seen matter move. But we need to take it out of the anomaly phase into the I'm willing right now to stand forth and be a channel of the mind and love of God moving through me into matter. Into matter. Spirit asked me to share with you a couple of scriptures. I'd like to do that. This is when he stilled the waters. Do you remember when he was on the boat and Thomas said, we're going to drown and you have no care for us? He said, you men of faith, where is your faith? For you can speak, and the winds and the waves will hear you and will obey. Man is the delegate of God to do his will on earth, and man can heal the sick, control the spirits of the air, and raise the dead. Because I have the power to do these things is nothing strange. All men may gain the power to do these things, but they must conquer the passions of the lower will, and they can conquer if they will. So, instant manifestation in a mind that is not aligned with God, would that be so great? And what is instant manifestation about but taking the energy of God consciousness into this reality? So doesn't it require that we have a mind aligned with God? Doesn't it require that we have prayer in our heart and meditation and we're really choosing to walk a path of God love? And then the thoughts and God love can become a reality quickly. Is everybody following me? Say, this is easy.
This is easy.
Good. All right. To truly begin to move to an awareness that we can understand God is moving through us. We open up all of our abilities, not just our heart. It's not just God, send me someone I can love. It's also God, send me a task that I can put my energy into. Send me a space that I can contribute the light to. Send me wherever I need to go that my soul can experience what it needs to experience with you guiding and loving me. You hear all of that? Moving in this makes us as metaphysical Christians and anyone who's awake and aligning with God so powerful to affect, so powerful to alter, so powerful to contribute. Patrick's reading a book where they're doing a lot of scientific studies, and I'll paraphrase. There is an institute that's been able to measure the vibrational energy in a room, and it's mathematical and it's machine, and I don't understand it, so I won't even speak to the how-to. But what they do is they measure the energy in a room as they begin a workshop or something. They'll measure it, it's several days, and it grows over the days. When people first come in to the room, they have to begin to align to the intention of the workshop. And if their frequency is not there, they will draw energy from the room. And then they draw it from the room, and then they feel better. And then the next day, they're at a higher energy. And then they can contribute maybe a little. And then by the end, they're all at a frequency where they are full, and they can contribute to the energy in the room. See? Okay? So let's talk about churches. Any church, I don't care. Churches. So if you're not feeling well, and you're not high, and you're feeling like you need some help, and you're feeling like you need to find God, and you walk into a church and you feel the energy of the room, it's there for you. Take it. It's there for you. Take it. Take it. And then you come back and things are there and you're getting better. And then you come back and things are getting better. And how many people do you think actually leave at the point when things get really good? They never hit the point of contribution. They never hit the point where I'm coming just to give my light today, and if Cindy says something fabulous, yay, God. And if she doesn't, I'm blessing the room. Because I believe in this path of metaphysical Christianity, I'm aligning my energy with it, and I'm going to contribute to the vibration of that room that Sunday. And I'm telling you guys, when I pull up during the week into that parking lot, there's a peace in the church. If I'm running late for a Sunday service, and I pull up into that parking lot, there's excitement. Everybody's here. The light's on. Everybody's excited and it's bright, and the energy is exponentially charged because of you guys bringing your energy to the place. Becoming a contributor to a frequency. Do you realize you contribute to your grocery store? Every place you go that you frequent. This is my grocery store. I've got my own mall. Don't mess with my mall. Nothing bad happens at my mall, it's my mall. So I contribute, and I'm holding the frequency and love for it. I'm allowing love of God to move through me to bless everywhere I go. And I also allow myself in those moments when I am down or feeling a little bit unchristed. Do you know when you're not feeling like your Christ is there and you're like, oh. I have places to turn, places to go, meditation. Patrick has said recently, you've forgotten who you are. Yeah, I know. That's not helping. Pray with me. Pray with me always helps. Pray with me always helps. We all can wake up. Okay, let me rephrase. In the situation that we currently find ourselves with the rapid moving energy that's bombarding us at all times, at all sides, our brain is a massive computer. We are being exposed to all of this vibration. Listen to last week. We're being exposed to multiple sources. Inputs are phenomenal, and we could easily find ourselves overwhelmed by the vibrational input alone. And I mean not even putting your cell phone to your ear. I mean sitting in a room. The energy is vibrating all around us. When we come to realize and own, God moves through the hands, the heart, the mind of man, and I am Christ, child of God. Then the core of me affects all of that. The core of me affects all of that. And this idea of matter moving, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it move for me? The idea of being blessed, why wouldn't I be blessed if I'm a child of God? Why? Y'all with me? I wanted to give you one other little key to help, and I feel like I speak on this an awful lot. But imagine with me, if you will, a plug. Plugs, 3-prong. Imagine an outlet. The plug is designed perfectly to do what it needs to do, and the outlet is designed perfectly to accept the plug. You see? Match. Now we have the energy moving, things can get accomplished. In our mental minds, we almost define ourselves as either a plug or an outlet. That if I'm not perfect for something, if I'm not perfectly set up to receive something, I will not be able to connect. If I haven't done this perfect or that perfect or this perfect, I won't be able to connect. I'm not worthy enough to be in relationship. I'm not worthy enough to talk to God. I'm not worthy enough to whatever. And we, as spiritual beings, that's not how we're made. We are made flow. We are made beautiful, flowing energies. We're not designed to plug into things so perfectly. We're designed to harmonize with things. And even in our reality, if the plug simply had an unformed electrical thing and the outlet had an unformed electrical thing, and harmony could be established when they connected in the realm to one another, it probably would accomplish the same thing. Flow. Think flow. My energy sometimes is vast and amazing. My energy sometimes is tight and withdrawn. My energy sometimes is so receptive. My energy sometimes is so tired. I'm in the flow. I don't have to be perfect to fulfill my destiny. I have to be me. All of me, the flow of me. The energy interacting with the world around me, and they call that harmony. That is harmony. We talked about harmony last week. Moving into harmony with one another, moving into harmony with situations. This is not fitting my plug. We all go there. Sorry, God, you made a mistake here. This isn't working for me. And Spirit says, well, you're there for a reason. Take a breath and flow. Become liquid. Become the light. And when you do that, that which you were trying to plug into also becomes flow. Metaphysical definition of perfection is wholeness. You realize that? We are whole. We are wholly, completely ourselves. We are not formed in a form that only fits certain things. We are whole and we are flowing. All right. When you are in harmony and you are in flow, you can bring joy to the field. When you are in harmony, you bring joy to every field that you walk into. You become a contributor to everywhere you go. You're bringing that light. Now, if you can actually believe that that frog disappeared and reappeared, which I do. I've seen it happen way too many times, guys. Cindy's mad world. If you can believe that, how much easier is it to believe that your flow of the light can impact your reality? It's just time to bring it into matter. We don't have to wait to be sick to be healed. We just have to grow. Healing, the definition, living from one level of consciousness to a higher level of consciousness, that's what it is. That's how we heal. We can grow. We can lift up. We don't have to be dramatic to show God. We can have fun with God. We can have fun with the light. We can have fun. All right. Say, I'm getting it. Mm-hmm. The higher the human vibration, the easier the God connection. The higher the human vibration, the easier the God connection. God interacts with the hearts and minds of man. Man directs that. And man can direct it however he chooses. Let's go within. God, as we open our hearts, I ask that your beautiful love just engulf this group. And I ask that beautiful individual columns of light come over everyone that is here. And I would invite all of you just to feel the love that surrounds you now. Feel your willingness to feel God. And let's take the limit off of God. Father, Mother God, I turn to you when I need help. I seek to turn to you to know who I am. I seek to turn to you to expand, to know what life truly is, what love truly is. And as you feel those words, feel your energy just coming alive. Feel the presence of Jesus Christ standing by your side. taking your hand. He has so much to show us, so much more that he could not before. I am willing to walk heaven on earth. Now, as you breathe, allow a scene to come to you of a place where you need to contribute your energy and have not been. It might be your home, your work, could be a person that appears in your mind. Whatever scene comes to you, allow it. And realize they've come to you because there is a cry in the universe for greater love. And ask yourself, can I? Can I contribute here? Can I be a channel of God love and contribute? And if you can, just breathe and send the light there. And know that you will be asked to actually participate at some level. But feel good about it. Now turn and feel the presence of Jesus the Christ. Teach me to navigate matter with the eyes of God. And feel a peace moving through you as he just places his hand on your heart. You are the beloved. And let the vision just come back to the energy all around you and notice if colors have changed, if it's gotten any larger. You are one with God. And Father, I ask you bless each one and let them go forward with courage, inspiration, and that Christed power in their hearts. And I thank you for this. Take a breath. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. You know, some of the craziest stories I tell you are the ones you'll remember. I invite all of you to go and visit the frog in the bookstore. And I invite you just to be aware as you walk this week. There is so much more to know. Say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yay, God.